Welcome. Today I'm making Cambodian food. It's called slow prahab. So I gathered with me today are these oyster mushrooms. I have a bag probably about come on please. So it came in a small bag. That's about 0.6 ounce, so it's very, very light. So it's about 2 cups worth of. And I also have kabocha today. This is one of the Cambodian cuisine. It's basic. It's healthy, it's delicious, and serve this with white rice, brown rice, or sticky rice of your choice. Okay. So I can add varieties of vegetables today. I can add corn, but I'm allergic to corn. I'm cooking corn from my mom. I bought it the other day from supermarket. It was a good deal. So I could have added into the soup, but if I do add corn, then I wouldn't be able to eat the soup. So I cook corn separate from my mom. So today we just go ahead and make this soup. I'm gonna share with you. The recipe is gonna be enlisted under the description box on YouTube channels. Yeah, the kabocha is one of those, we call it squash. They call it squash, but it is a pumpkin. So I always have issue between the squash and pumpkins. Okay, it is a pumpkin, but then it's known as squash, so can't really argue with that, you know. How these food are being classified. I think it's in the pumpkin or in the squash family. I'm just removing the outlay or the rinds of it. And the thing about this kabocha is that they're very, very sticky, very tough. Yeah, it's not like a pumpkin. I think that's why it's called squash. Still, you know. We're gonna make it to bite size, which is about that big, you know. Because I need to remove the outlay of the rind first. And today I am going to be cooking this with smoked fish or grilled fish. My friend brought this from Cambodia, and Tienda was with Nicole. Thank you. So in Cambodia, people are so smart about putting all kind of fish in this little stick here and cook it over the smoke. Just yeah. So this is a smoked fish, just like smoked salmon and smoked, just like jerky. Where no, this is done. Okay, I mean the process of smoking a fish take a long process of that, just like smoking salmon. People really have to know how to do this thing, because if don't know how to do this thing, and then it's not gonna cook right. And I remember growing up, my grandparents, my parents smoked fish because we don't have refrigerator back in the day, so we relying on preserving food. So either brine it and air dry it and put it away, or smoke them, because smoked fish, or smoked meat, it's so easy to recook or consume as is, just like jerky. And jerky, beef jerky do cook with that smoking process and dehydration process, right? The same thing for the Cambodian smoked fish. It goes through the whole process of gather the fish, clean the fish, and bind them together like that, and place over certain killed or cooking facilities. I remember when my grandparents built this little a little store for it and place all kind of fish and meat, and then they will charcoal up or build fire, very low fire, and allow the process of smoking the meat or the fish. That might take weeks in making it to perfections. And with that, this right here can keep it in the family for a long time, for the whole season. But don't keep it too long, because then and the bone bug or stuff like that can occur also. I see that also. But then it's a lot better to keep any kind of raw meat for a long time. Either the process of brining and air dry, or the process of smoking, or even turning into a fermented fish. Okay, so there's so many ways that the ancient Khmer people or Thai people allow people. I think same thing for Filipino. I saw some of their food products are very similar to Cambodian, so we do share some similarity, which is great. Okay, so welcome all of you. So I have about, if I put this together, I may have about 1 kabocha. I'll see if I will need all of it. If it's not, oops. The kabocha, I can boil this and have this with meals also. Sorry. This soup here is very popular in Cambodia, though the younger generation does not. I'm sure that they have experienced eating them while living with their parents, but a lot of them probably don't know how to even cook this anymore. So I feel that this is one of great recipe that I like to preserve. Reserve the right to the Khmer people. And I know that in Thailand, they cook this also when I visited my family in Thailand. Sorry, I'm cooking corn. I'm cooking corn, and something that I'm allergic to. So today I will be cooking with this grung here, the samlok grung that I made a few weeks ago, and it's done. And if you like this recipe for making grung, I will list it under the descriptions also. Will help you remember and process if you want to cook this great great meal here. You could. Okay. Well, the next thing I do is to, okay, let me cut the melons. Oh, I'm sorry, not melons. The squash. The kabocha squash. Okay, so we're going to cut into bite size. See, it's so sticky, hard. Then cut into bite size, and this kabocha here it's not going to take very long to cook. So or my grandparents used to do this. Yeah, watch your finger. So I thought it was common sense. As long we're not attacking our own finger, right? Making you nervous, right? But it takes a lot of practice for this kind of cutting, no? add more kabocha because the kid, my daughter, she loves it. My mom also. I do too. I do the flavor of the kabocha. The kabocha squash. Welcome. I'm cooking Cambodian food today. It's called slopraha. So basically, the sloprahas are combinations of a few vegetables combined together. It make sense. It's almost like stew, you know, where you add carrots and potatoes and meat and onion together. Cambodian soup have a lot of similarity, just that we use this soup making paste here. Okay, these are combines of this paste here are combines of kalanga, lemongrass, garlic, kaffir leaves, and we smash it all up, and then and then the yellow color here derived from the use of turmeric. So turmerics are related to curry and all that whole bit. Okay, and today we're gonna be flavoring our soup with this basil here. I had it for a few days now. Basil does not like cold weather. It's just one of those plant that just it does not like cold. It turn crazy in cold. It just doesn't like cold weather. Let's call it tarnish. It just doesn't like to be in cold. Just like me, I guess. I don't like to be in cold. So this is what's gonna go on at the end of a soup. It's just flavoring it, just like when we add cilantro into a lot of cooking, or we add fresh ingredients such as herbs such as paprika or thymes or oregano, you know. So these are the basil that can be grown in the backyard. If it grow in the backyard, typically it grow in the backyard, but here in Las Vegas, I found it's a challenge to grow anything in the backyard. I was arguing with my friends who live here in Las Vegas longer than I am, and she brought me the sweet melons the other day, and I really have to making sure that was coming from her backyard. She said, yeah, I grew this, sister. This is how I grew them. I'm like, how do you even keep them alive, let alone that they even bear fruits? And I got sample of that. I have recipe for the sweet melons that I made a few days ago. So see how wasteful it is when they have this. And these are quite expensive. These are like $3-4 worth of this basil here that practically just gone bad and molded up and tarnished up in the fridge. So, but I have just enough for me to, for the flavoring, for the aroma of this food here, this cooking here. Actually, I really need another kind of a basil, the white kind, but since I don't have it, so I'm gonna substitute it with this yellow, this purple basil here. Okay. But I usually love a lot of basil into the soup, but since I'm able to save that much, so I'm not gonna work. So this mushroom here, it grows wild in Cambodia. There's certain tree that produce this kind of mushrooms. Okay, so back home growing up, we don't have to even grow this kind of mushroom. This mushroom right here will grow on certain dead trees. You know, when the rain comes and it produces that moist, and for some reason these mushroom here will grow. Okay, this is how it looked like. I remember exactly because my parents used to go collect this from the wood. It's not like regular mushroom, the wild mushroom. This used to be a wild mushroom, but now people figured out how to grow this commercially. And I remember my parents just go to the wood and collect this. Once it rained, and about 7 days later, all these wild vegetable will grow wildly in the wood, and that's how I remember it. I don't remember have to grow even the straw mushrooms, because Cambodian people they harvest rice with the after they grain the rice and all that, and the husk they will stack it up nicely for the feeding of the buffalo and cow. And when the rain comes, the soak of the rain and create the humidity, and the fungus grow. So mushrooms are the like earth fungus that are edible to humans. No, so I have about 3 cups of this mushroom here, and exactly it's about 1 bag of oyster mushroom. And this is not the king oyster mushroom, okay? This is just oyster mushrooms. It smells the same. It have probably the same flavor. The king mushroom, they're rather big and humongous. And this came in a big family. Okay, so let me turn it this way so that you know I'm gonna go ahead and start the grill. Okay, to do that, I will need about. See, I'm boiling corn for my mom because she can eat corn. I can't, but it does not stop me from cooking it. I'm gonna add some salt for flavor for her. In fact, I think it's done. You know, with this soup right here, it'd be good if you add fresh corn in it, but since I can't eat corn and I want to enjoy this soup, so I'm gonna keep the corn out. I bought this a couple days ago, and it's 50 cents each, so I bought a few dollars worth. I know my mom loves corn, so I bought some for the family. Yeah. So I would need about 3 tablespoons of cooking oil. I'm gonna go ahead and saute my grung to get the flavor from the for my grung, which are the lemongrass and the kaffir leaves and the kalangos and garlic and turmeric. So if I measure this is about a cup. Okay, I did that last time from my freezer. So if it's over a cup, I'm only have a little bit of soup today, so it's gonna measure to about a cup here. You can use a little less or more, it's up to you. I just like it in between, okay, because this will give a real nice flavor. So, or actually I only have a little bit, so I'm gonna use about 2/3 of the cup. Okay, it's not in the cup, so it's about 2/3 of the cup. I'm gonna go ahead and saute process my grung. Now I'm done with all the vegetable. Let me know, strip the bones and the skin off my smoked fish. Yeah. So I got this from the last family sent it from East Coast. So this right here, you can get this from the grocery store, but they're pretty pricey because the smoked fish, a little bit pricey, and that just because it took a lot of fish to make this kind of a product, you know what I mean? This shrunk, okay? I mean, the original fish would be a little bit bigger, but then because the process of smoking the fish, it's shrunk. I do that because I don't like all that spilling oil on me, and I got one sprinkled on my face. Okay, so I got the 2 vegetables done with the kabocha and the oyster mushroom. I'm gonna go ahead and do my fish. Okay, so if you don't have smoked fish, you're welcome to use regular fish, but smoked fish, it has it's just one of those traditional cooking. Okay, and I can use the skin also in this case here, And my goal here is just trying to remove the bones. And the bones are pretty crunchy because the whole of this fish are all crunchy. And I'm trying to separate the bone carefully so that way I don't have bones on fish. So I have not seen anybody trying to, I'm gonna leave the skin out. I don't know, I don't feel comfortable about the skin. These have to be imported, and a lot of my friends who visited in Cambodia will bring this from Cambodia. These are pretty expensive though, you know what I mean? They sell by the pound, but then they're quite expensive. Because the reason it's expensive because it's the amount of fish that go onto this fish here, okay? It's not just one single fish, it's a whole bunch of fish that put together. Or if there's a big one and I see that they do it singly, but then the small one like this, they would they'll put a whole bunch of them together in a platter, in a stick, on a stick. Here I saw the bone here, and the rest of the bone will be okay to cook in because it's already been smoked up and tenderized. I don't know, maybe the skin will be good. I'm not sure, but I'll put some in there, not a whole lot. Okay, so here go the meat of. Okay, I'm gonna get it off first because it's already done sauteing, but I'm waiting for my fish to get done so that way I can cook my fish in there. So here are the bone, the big bone, the spinal bone. But if you don't have this thing, you can go ahead and cook with fish. I mean fresh fish, or shrimp, or tofu if you like, or even just with pork. Chicken is fine. Okay, so but today I just remember this recipe here from the olden day. How my grandparents used to cook this, and it was incredibly impressive and delicious. So, and that's what I'm doing today to reliving my memory, eating this with my grandparents. My mom cooked this all the time too. I think that's how I remember this recipe here, mainly from my mom. My mom cooked really good. Actually, now that she hasn't been able to cook due to her health and vision, so yes, I have this much. Yeah, I'm gonna get a little bit more from this here. This here is fresh from Cambodia. Just last week when my friend came from visiting Cambodia, and she brought with her on the plane, and because she remember my mom well, and she's sharing this. Actually, this broke when I put in the freezer, and grandkid went over and overstacking it, so it broke. See the bone, easy boning. That one I will step on it. And this right here, you can warm this up in a warmer and allows it to get even crunchier, and you can eat with this sauce, and or you can eat with this green mangoes in the Cambodian tradition way. You know, only Cambodian will understand what I'm talking about. For those who are not of native Cambodians, you won't know what I'm talking about. But this, ត្រីឆ្អើរបើញ៉ាំជាមួយធ្វើបុកផ្សាំងបុកទឹកគ្រឿងឬក៏ញ៉ាំជាមួយស្វាយខ្ចីថ្ងៃនេះខ្ញុំនឹងស្លប្រហើរជាមួយលពៅហើយនឹងផ្សិតចាំនេះផ្សិតនេះយើងអាចបេះនៅតាមអានឹងគេហៅផ្សិតអីផ្សិតខ្មែរហៅផ្សិតអីផ្សិតគល់ឈើកាលនៅស្រុកស្រែនោះពុកដែរខ្ញុំក៏ទៅបេះនឹងតាមព្រៃអានឹងដូចដោះពី called churiang. I was telling that when I was in Cambodia, I remember my parents just go search for pick this mushroom from the wood. It grow on. It does not grow on land like the rest of the earth, like the rest of the mushroom. This grow on the tree, so actually they are parasite. Okay. And my mom corn is done because it's not bothering me in my neck. I can feel it, I can smell it, but that's what I get when I'm allergic to food, and I have to cook it. Sometimes it's avoidable, sometimes it's unavoidable. So I'm trying to pick the meat out of bone here because the bone fell off. So because these are so expensive, I'm trying to like get every bit of it so that I can cook with it. And so I have a lot already. I think I have enough. And I'll save this for another project where I might come back on here and show you how. Okay, maybe we'll make the green, the dipping sauce, or Salamaju Srai. Only the Cambodian will understand what I'm referring to because this is like soul food for Khmer people. Okay, so if you are not familiar with the word Khmer, Khmer is the acronym for Cambodian. Okay, so the Cambodian, the Western name was given to us. The French call us Cambodge with G, Cambodge, Kampuchea. A lot of nations call us Kampuchea. We call ourselves Kampuchea too, but Khmer is the original name that we given ourselves, deriving from Khmer, which are some of those original tribal people that rule Khmer Kingdom 500 or 600 years ago. So a long time, and the history hadn't not forgotten it. In fact, the history is being recorded on the stone of the wall, of the temple walls, and even the relief, the stone. I'm just trying to be sure that I don't have bones on here, and because when the bone cook again, and the bone will get softened, but it will not be safe to swallow, and that's why I have to make sure that I minimize the bones. And typically with this kind of fish, we use the mortar and smash the whole thing, smash the bones, smash the skin, smash the meat, so that way when they eat, it's safe to eat. Able to cook it this way and make sure that the bones are removed completely. Otherwise, if you choke on one of the bone, then it's mostly unfortunate. I mean, it's the most unfortunate. See, still with that, I'm still finding some bones on here. Okay? So this right here would be one of those dishes that young people would say, nah, I'm good, I'll get burger. I hear about that a lot. Only the older generation, my mom generation, myself generation would know what these food are. Okay, even the younger generation, even the parents cook this and and share, they still don't. But we're probably not one of the favorable dish. Again, only toward the older generation will know what these are, because this is being cooked and served in the day and back homes, and a lot of older generation know what these are. I'm gonna go ahead and put this back in the bag, and I keep this in the freezer because if it prolongs the life, the shelf life, the product life better, to prevent it from get worm infestation, because these came from a fiber from what you call it, from meat product. So meat product have born in disease such as like worms and all that, and though flies will not, I don't know. I'm just saying that if this thing is left outside long period of time, and the worm will start forming and eating the flesh of the meat. I don't know. Okay, I mean the worm are so fragile, so little, but I don't know how they even chew this thing. For me, I need like full set of teeth to chew this meat here. So this meat here is done. Okay, it's crunchy, flavorful because it's made out of real fish. These are the unwanted pieces, just the skin and bone. And then with this process here, like I said, you can keep this for a long time, but you have to keep checking whether the worm get into it. Excuse me, please. Let me wash my hand. I was gonna show you guys that remember I was cooking the chayote. Okay, so I bought these from supermarket, and when I told you that chayote grow the youngs or the seedling from the bottom here. Okay, so this is like the butt of this chayote here. So I left this outside for about 2 weeks. Look, it's growing. Okay, so the seed extended and push it out from the chayote here. Okay, and it grow. So with this, I can put it outside. Hopefully that it may survive the winter. Last time when I have it in Stockton, it survived the winter down to the bottom, and then it will regrow. Okay, and it replenish. But I don't know about in Las Vegas. I questioned about everything. So yeah, you see the seedling here from chayote. So that last time when I was telling my audience that chayote grow from the bottom, so there's an opening here. Well, actually it was an opening until the seed are mature, and it pushed the seed out from the bottom here, like giving childbirth, you know, going through the birth canal. So that's why I said that fruit and humans, we have a lot of things in common. We give birth. Look at that. So the seed wasn't out here until it's mature enough to push itself out from this little. There was no gap until the seed is big enough to make its own exit. Okay, see that? That's what I'm amazed about the plants, is that they're just like human. All right, now I have my fish already. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and reheat my grill, so that way I can cook my fish in it, and then let me remove this corn out of my way. Mom. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let me measure the fish. Okay, I think I have about 2 cups. One cup of smoked fish. This is actually a smoked catfish, Asian catfish, not American catfish. Okay, though American catfish had the though it's called catfish, but they don't look exactly alike. There's some similarity, but they're not alike. Not that much alike in it. So yes, this is about 2 cups. I was right. Okay. So these are the smoked fish from Cambodia. And the smoked fish here are pretty pricey too. If you say, I don't like that, fine. You know, I mean, we can't afford that neither, because this thing costs. This price of smoked fish here costs as much as a prime rib. So you rather go have prime ribs than this smoked fish from Cambodia. I'm not exaggerating now. I'm speaking the truth. Okay, this thing, like this little little here costs about $20. So with $20, you can get a nice steak of prime rib from upstanding restaurant. Okay, with this I have so here we are. Here we hold on. Where am I? So I'm just cooking the fish with the groong. The groongs are the combines of lemongrass, the fir leaf, and halango, garlic, and turmeric. Okay. To do that, I would add another about 1 cup of water first. We could need a few cups of water for this, but because this is smoked fish, the smoked fish will take a little bit of time to cook, okay, or to tenderize it. So cooking in heat, it might take 30 minutes or so for it to get softened. If it's not, it's fine because it's already done. It's the fish is already cooked, so I'm not gonna worry about if it's cooked or not. Okay, so I already have my kabocha prepared and my wild oyster sauce. No, oyster sauce. Oyster mushrooms that look like that. Okay, and these are commercial grown oyster mushroom. In the day in Thailand and Cambodia or in Laos, people go search this from the wood, from the dead wood and all that dead wood that left for century in the element. When the rain come, it creates fungus, and these are actually fungus. Okay. Because our groom didn't have any peppers in it, because my mom's, I'm gonna go ahead and add some pepper in it. I'm gonna cook whole of it because I like to have some peppers in my soup. But when I do a whole pepper like these, it does not break and will allow me to fish it up and bite into it when I want that little spiciness or hot peppers out of it, because I'm not gonna break it because my mom can eat it, and then we have issue if she can't eat it and she'll be complaining. Okay, let me already add some ingredients that we need for these here. Sorry, I forgot. I have it here. I'm gonna do about 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. Okay. Today I'm also going to be cooking this with the fermented fish. Okay, so the fermented fish, this brand here made from Cambodia, though it says a product of Thailand, but it had Angkor Wat on it. Yeah. So that's why my people are adamant that the Angkor Wat are being on the, they purchased the product from Cambodia with Thai manufacturing. But with the things that's going on right now, people get sensitive with everything. So Khmer people are boycotting right now, calling all the Cambodian people to stop using American product. So I'm going to use up what I have here because it was so expensive to even purchase this product anyway. But then I have a lot of fermented fish that was given to me from Cambodia, straight from Cambodia. So I'm going to start using those. And because I don't use this all the time, so 1 container of this will last me a long time. Okay, so I see that 1 cup of water is already consumed by the fish, because the fish consume the water, it have to get fat. And remember, it's smoked fish over time. So when we put in the water, it started to soak up the water to release, to suck the water and to get tenderized. And that's why you see the American Indians or folk who live in the time where we don't have refrigerator and people smoke fish and sun dry meat and fish to keep them to be able to keep them for a long time. Okay, so see, this is the same process we do here. Is that Khmer people have the same ordeal way of dealing with preserving the food supply until it's needed. I remember when my parents have these fish, it was smoked, it was done, sun dried. Some of the meat. If my dad slaughtered a pig or cow, we have to share with the village, sell to the village, or give it to the family in the village, and then the rest, my dad would smoke it or brine it, sun dried it, and then just air dried it. Okay, or they made a lot of sausages and sun dry. Yeah, Asian sausages processed the sun drying. Okay, so when sun drying, it preserves the meat and you can keep it for a certain period of time until ready to consume. So I'm going to use about good half cup of prahok today, because this here will take a good amount of prahok because it's slaughterhouse. Some people say they don't eat prahok. Okay, fine, you don't eat prahok, then and you can do fish sauce. Okay? If you don't do fish sauce, then do salt, and then when you do salt, then that's where the limit of it. Okay, because then it's not Khmer food anymore. It's the American modified version of it, and you won't be able to smell. You won't have the pungent smell. You won't have the unique taste or ingredients anymore. So that's modification version. It may not be the same thing. Okay. So this here is pack of salt. So you can refrigerate it with one. It will never get bad because it has so much salt in it. It's no preservative, but it has so much salt in it as long as it's well lit, tight lit, and you don't have to even put in a refrigerator. Okay. So I have my water boiling. I have one half cup of the fermented fish going in. The reason I'm cooking this in advance because this fermented fish contains a lot of bone, just like the fish that I'm cooking here. It has a lot of bone. So when I blanch it, allow it to cook, and I can strain it with the strainer and separate the bone. I'm gonna allow it to boil. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and add some. I'm gonna break the flavor with about 1 teaspoon of sugars. Okay, we need some extra flavor from sugars. There we go. Okay. I use the organic powdered sugar here. Right. I'm gonna go ahead and let me bring you over. Well, today I only do for YouTube. You know why? I'll tell you in a minute. So here we go. It's already looking pretty good already. So the fish are fattened up. So, you know, all the primitive people are super smart people, because for us, we don't even know if we have too much fish, and we complain about having too much fish and just give it to the church and donate it to the good cause. Okay. I'm adding the kabocha first because the kabocha need a little bit of time to cook. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and stir that with the grill to get the kabocha to infusing in with the grill for a minute or so. My fermented fish is already processed. It boiled. Okay, I'm gonna set it aside for a minute. I'm gonna add that like almost very last because it's pungent. It smells it didn't smell very, very, very well. You know what I mean? It smelled, but this brand here didn't sting up too much. Okay, some of the brands like really ew, awful smell. But then when you combine into the ingredient, it softened it. It's what do you call it? It's um, it blend in and the ingredient of this fermented fish is essential for this cooking here. A lot of people like it heavier. Some people said like it just the flavor of it. So and that's why Cambodian cooking is a little bit complicated to Westerners. Westerners say, I don't know, Cambodian cooking are complicated. Yes, they are. They came from complicated societies. So even myself, you know, I was born in a complicated community, but because I grew up on it, so it's not as bad. I'm gonna boil some water. I think my kettle's not doing good. And then I'm gonna add it into the pot later. I think my kettle is out of business. I'm not sure. The reason I'm using boiling water is because it helped the pot to boil quicker. Okay. So my kabocha is blending very, very well. Okay. I just love the color of it. The thing about the kabocha is that I can make soup out of it. A few kind of soup out of it, okay? So this is one of the soup that I make out of kabocha, squash, or pumpkins. And a few weeks ago, I made dessert out of this. So kabocha actually is pretty good as far as figuring anything to do with figuring or creating recipe for kabocha. So I made dessert, the coconut cream kabocha, a couple of weeks ago. That was fantastic. My mom loved it. I love it because that reminds me of when living with grandparents, okay? And also making this some law praha here with this oyster, wild oyster mushroom. But this grew wild in Cambodia, so it looked like that. Okay. So I don't know the nutritional value for oyster mushroom here, but then the king oyster mushroom is packed with nutrients. But I think this does the same. And they're pricey too, you know what I mean? You think that this ridiculous looking weird mushroom or weird fungus grow here, that you think that they're weird, but they're pretty expensive too. You know, any kind of mushroom is pricey. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some water from here. That's about half a cup. So I'm gonna add another cup. I'm waiting for the rest of my water to boil. And to do that, I'm gonna go ahead and add the because I add the chicken bouillon. I add a little sugar to it to boost the flavor. And I'm looking for my sieve. I have it there. Okay, so, and here I have about a cup of water of liquid here that I boiled the fermented fish in. And so I'm gonna go ahead and do about, I think I have more than a cup. My bad. Oh no, it's about a cup. Okay, but I want to. Oh, my bad. I want to debone it because, oh, baby. Just want to cause accident for me. So because these are packed with salt and sodium, I'm going to go ahead and use this much first until I'm fully, when I fully add the rest of water, I mean the liquid that I need for the soup, okay? For now, I'm doing about that much for the fermented fish. It started to smell up, you know. I mean, yeah, that's a real khmer food right there. Chua lo nang some law praha set hay nang and then lapao. And, it's enough salt, so I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it out. I'm gonna start adding some water to it. So I have about 4 cups of water already. 5, 6. I'm gonna sample it because I still have some room for more juice. Mm. 5 cups. 6, 7, 8. Okay. It's about 8 cups altogether. I can smell the fish. that fish flavor, fish taste. So actually I only need about quarter cup of the fermented fish is plenty because I didn't use all of it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my oyster mushrooms and allow my my soup to boil. Okay, let me do this. Let me allow the kabocha to cook just a little bit before I add this mushroom here, because this mushroom here does not take a long time to cook. Okay, it will cook automatically. Because this, like I was telling my audience earlier, that in Cambodia this grow on the dead tree. My parents used to just go search for this mushroom from the wood. In Cambodia, there's certain kind of wood that when the fungus grow, the mushroom grow, it's okay to consume. So those smart ancient people like my parents and my grandparents will be able to distinguish which mushroom is edible, which mushroom is not. So this is what I was taught about the wild mushrooms. Okay, so the wild mushrooms grow in the natural environment, that without any kind of human disturbance. And so it grows on its own environment when, especially in the Amazon or in the monsoon worlds, or just like in Oregon, because Oregon mountain had all kind of mushrooms. Okay, expensive mushrooms, and I don't know the name of them, but then a lot of my Cambodian friends will go pick mushrooms and make hundreds of thousands a year. I mean, when this mushroom becomes scarce, if you find a pound of it, sometime when it's really like, when the mushroom wasn't really growing and real scarcity, 1 pound of, they call it pine mushroom. There's a name for it. Okay, there's a fancy name for it. And that it can cost. It was around 1,500 to 500 the lowest, and then on like the year where when the mushroom is overpopulated, and it's about $100 per pound, so $50 per pound, just like anything else, you know, high. Low supply, high demand, you know, that equilibrium. charred. Same thing for mushrooms. You know, I mean, this year where was plenty of rain in Oregon, especially in Oregon where they grow all kind of mushrooms that not just one kind of mushrooms, all kind of wild mushrooms that are pricey, and a few of my friends are the mushroom dealers, meaning that they are the merchants who do the wholesale and buy the mushroom from mushroom gatherers. When I was in Stockton, I have access to those mushrooms here in Las Vegas. I don't know anyone who go and do the mushroom picking here in Las Vegas, but in Stockton there's so many of them, and I will buy. Expensive though, you know. I mean, it depends on if it's plenty, and then they will be able to bring it to sell to the public. But if it's not plenty, then it's not plentiful, then they won't be able to bring it. So those they call it takishi, or one of those mushrooms. I'm sorry, it's in the Japanese words. Those mushrooms are consumed heavily in Japan. I think it was exported to Japan. I think I'm gonna go ahead and add a mushroom because the kabocha, it's almost ready. I might add about another cup of water. Time to so here we go, my kabocha, okay, and my pepper, and now my oyster mushrooms. I could have added a few more kind of vegetable, but I don't have them. But it's just resolute with kabocha and oyster mushrooms. So I'm going to add one more cup of water. Okay, I feel that it was that I need to dilute a little bit more salt. I think I have too much salt in there because I eat low salt, so I feel that I needed to dilute about another cup. But this will be fine for my mom because my mom, she eat more saltier than I am. But I'm low salt. Oh, this smells so good. The fermented fish infused with the rest of the ingredient. It's so unique. I'll do one more cup, just on the safe side. So I have 10 cups of water in here. So because I didn't use all the fermented fish here, so I started with about 2/3 cups. So we're gonna have to reduce that to just 1/4 of the cup, and it'll be low salt. But then you can add fish sauce if you like. Here I didn't add any fish sauce. I did 2 cups of chicken flavor soup base. 1/4 cup of the prahok, or the fermented fish, okay, kabocha soup, kabocha and oyster mushroom soups. We are good. Tastes good. I'm allowed it to boil because the kabocha is already done. Let me sample the texture of it. It's almost done. 5 more minutes, it'd be good. Let me get the bowl ready for my mom. I think she's down here. I think she's hungry. Let me get a soup bowl for her. Yam bio and slop such okay. Dito rin siya on. So how are we doing? We doing good? Today or yesterday something crazy happened. I think I've been online with a few people. Not on my line, on not my life, someone else's life. So we're just talking about the contention along the Cambodian and Thai border. So my TikTok channel got not blocked, suspended. Because I heard about people telling people that, you know, that if you stand or talk out of their context or their narrative, because if you check on some of the facts and factuals and so we're just talking about what's going on in Cambodia in a truthfulness way. So I think the opposition does not like it, so I think they report on my channel, so it's suspended. So I'm okay with that because I'm not monetizing, so I don't care if they suspend it or if they block it. it don't matter to me, you know. I mean, I thought it was just kind of silly because I heard people were telling people on TikTok that when they start talking about Cambodia border and the opposition does not want anybody to learn the truth because they do spread lies and create fake news and fake narrative and portray it to the world. So when we're just talking about that, because there's a whole bunch of other khmer content creators that come together and that we got invited to go online and we just talk about how we feel about things, and then little I know later in the evening I went on to trying to go online and said that I was suspended, so I won't be able to get on live on TikTok until on the 20th, so I have a few more days. Today's 18 or 17, 18. So then, like I said, you know, you can't really stand or support for my country because I do repost a lot of content on my Facebook. I have to be careful there too, and I share a few content of cooking content on my YouTube also. So I'll be furious if they started to bug me on my YouTube channel, you know, because that's where my strengths are. So there's no reason doing that to anybody, you know what I mean? Because they don't believe in freedom of speech. You know, we're not speaking ill, we're just speaking the truth, you know, we're just letting the world know the truth. And as many people know that I'm Thai descent. I was born in Cambodia. So what's going on in Cambodia and Thailand, it didn't make me feel good either way. You know, it's just like double sword because it hurt both ways. I have family in Thailand, I have family in Cambodia. And I stand and I still stand for justice. I still stand for humanitarian, and I still stand for people, for life, for humanity, for justice, for fairness. You know, I mean, even the king have to obey certain rules. You know, even the king of the land, the king of the earth, or the king of the earth is up there. So the king of earth is way on high, but the king of the country is the one that making all kind of crazy decisions about attacking the neighboring country. So, it's done. The mushroom is done. I'm gonna go ahead and add our last ingredient, which is the basil. Okay. So literally, these I would need the white basil, but the white basil is not readily or available here in Stockton, California, or in California. In California itself, they have all kind of fresh herbs and spice. The purple basil, the white basil, holy basil, all kind of other fresh herbs and spices. Look at here. I'm sorry, it's sad to say. You can buy these, but then it's not as fresh. So my kabocha, let me sample the kabocha one last time because earlier it was not quite ready. I just wanted to get tender, really tender before I serve my mom. The kabocha is really tasty. Okay? Sorry. It had that natural flavor to it, and that's why this is perfect for dessert. Also, I made dessert out of this a few days ago, and this is good for pumpkin pie too. I did the pearl drop made out of kabocha. The videos I posted a couple months ago. It's done. Let me remove the bubble. All right, let me go ahead and add this basil. Okay. Let's check this out. So this soup here, okay, it's considered okay, it's considered food for Cambodian people. I remember my grandparents and my parents make this soup all the time because literally it's that simple. Okay. And you can add corn, you can add spinach if you like, but today I only have the kabocha, squash, and the mushroom. You can use button mushroom also, any kind of mushroom that you like, or even tofu, you're welcome to, okay? This is almost like the stew, okay? Oh, I have to sample the fish because it's smoked fish. Let me see if it's even tender. Huh. About where the fish go. Okay, so these are smoked fish. Not bad. It's a little chewy, but it's gonna be this texture because it's a smoked fish. All right, let me get some videos of this so I can post it on my my TikTok, because they suspend my TikTok channel because we just talked about that earlier. That was mean. Heck of mean. I didn't know that's gonna come to me, because I heard a lot of people complain about their channel being blocked because they talk about because they bring the truth contents about who attacked Cambodia first, or who attacked first. Okay, so the opposition said that, well, you know, we got bullied first, and then Cambodia said, no, we're peaceful people, we don't want war, we want peace. You fight first, and then the opposition create narrative and make movie out of scene, casting actor and actresses, and make it look like, yeah, they went through war and that they got bombed for real, and why they do that for to capture the image so they can spread the news, right? So that's what we were sharing, and then just like I'm saying right now. So I'm not scared of losing my channel. You're speaking the truth, okay? So anyway, so shoot. Here we go. Mushroom soup. Anyway, so I was saying that that I have to be. I'm not scared. Okay, if I want to talk about it, I'll talk. I'm not gonna give my mom her pepper, because she be screaming at me saying, "Why you give me pepper for? I cannot eat hot food." It smells pretty good. Okay, here we go. Oh. All right, there we go. So my mom typically have this with white rice, okay? Or brown rice of your choice, or you can have this with bread. Don't matter. All right. Anyway, let me serve my mom. Mày bánh bài hả mommy? Hả? Mày tụi bài hay không? Okay. Ông mình phải pụng nào. Well, folks, I enjoy being on here with you. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. Okay, today, like I say, that normally I would do this show live on both channels, my YouTube and my TikTok, but my TikTok got suspended, so I have to be mindful what I say about certain thing. I have to, like, I think TikTok owned by foreign countries, so you can't be talking crazy stuff. There's something crazy. We're just talking about thing in general that's going on between the two countries. We're just speaking the truth. We're just sharing the truth. We're just sharing. We just want to bring justice to the country that are being bullied on. I mean, we have to mention the name, but you can Google it. It's not Middle Eastern. It's in Asia. My homeland, Cambodia, and my second homeland in Thailand. So I'm pretty upset with them too. The way they treated Cambodian people and treated people who do content spreading the truth, spreading seeking justice for Cambodia. So peace to all of you. Okay, show support to Cambodia anyway. Don't worry, if I lose my channel, I'll have another one. Like a lot of guys who said that they lost their channel 3 times. Okay, finally TikTok said I didn't see any threaten, any post on, and any threaten to this channel. So they restored his channel, and he ended up having 3 accounts. A few of them are like that, like some of the American folk who went on there to show the one that really understand what's going on, the one that have common sense, the one that's are not biased, the one that's not prejudiced against neither country, but know which country is not right, which country is lying about the war, about the attack, about the killings and all that. So American are smart people. Cambodian are smart people too. We don't choose to fight with weapons. We choose to fight with standing unities and voicing, and it's what people do. We peacefully rally throughout the nation. I saw people from Canada, France, England, Japan, Cambodia, America. They came together. They just want peace. So I'm with that. I'm a peace seeker person myself. That's why I end up here in the country, escaping the khmer, escaping the killing, escape the genocide. That's why I'm here in this country. Why would I support war? I see war, rumors of war in Middle East that never quit. And that alone, it's not good to the people. It's not good for the family. It's not good for the kid to being born in that kind of environment. The same thing when I was a child. I was only about, huh? Okay, Mom. Mom said it's good, so that's nice. It's very rare that my mom ever give me a compliment that's good. Sometimes she would say, "Oh, your food, you look like you cook your food with your feet or your eye closed." When they cook my food with the feet, that was just like the food not good. But then sometimes she didn't know how to give proper compliment. Khmer people like old school. They don't want to give you the proper compliment because they don't want you to feel to your head to get big, to be too proud of it, because they're always saying the opposite. So I learned, your opposite comment really breaking my spirit. Just like she would say, "Oh, you have a lot of meat grow on you," meaning that you are big, you are fat, you. So she used to say that to my family members, and they don't like that. Or with me, it's like, "Oh, how come you're so skinny? Did your husband love you?" It's always, if you're skinny, they think that something happened to you, and that because skinny people indicate that they're not sleeping, they're not eating, they're worried, so that's why they lost weight. In Cambodia, that's how it is. When people, skinny people have things on their minds, have trouble in their life, so I don't know how that translates, interpreted to being skinny, and that skinny people with issue, but when, oh yeah, it must be because I remember the butcher, he got belly because he had plenty to eat and he had plenty of money. So I think that's how they see things, they view things, and they analyze things. People who have issue and that they're constantly worried and they're not eating and not taking care of their house, so they got skinny or they lost their weight. So I said, why don't all Americans all worried about things in their life and stop eating, and maybe everybody gonna be like 50 pounds lighter. I'm not saying anything bad, but then the way old people, the way older generation, Khmer generation people saying certain things, it's like the opposite. She used to, you offended my grandchildren, my siblings, and even my children, my grandkid too. They get so offended. Say, why do you say that for? They get sensitive with it. So trying to tell them, Mom, you cannot say that. You cannot be Cambodian about this thing, because these kids are in America. They don't see that you are using your what you call it, they don't understand the message, okay? Because that's like contradicting message. So they cannot understand that these American kids, they're born in America, they only talk straightforward. They don't understand your analytic thinking. Okay, when I say this, is opposite. If I say you big, it's opposite. Or you say you skinny, it's opposite. No, it's not. It does not interpret like that. But that's how literally some of these people in their mindset in the tradition think that is a proper way to say it. But my grandkids used to get so angry with my mom, and I used to like have to educate my mom a little bit by saying, yeah, I know, if you have nothing nice to say, fine, don't go about their weight, don't go about their look, their hair, nothing like that, because people get sensitive. I get sensitive too, I mean, learn to give nice compliments. So that's what I have to tell them. Anyway, so she said it's good, so happy. So I cook have a pot so she can have leftover. Anyway, so I'm cool today. I'm gonna log off. Thank you for being on here and your support mean the whole world to me. If you have not subscribed, please do. Let me know that you appreciate my cooking. I'm gonna leave the when I get around to do this, I will go in and fill up the recipe, so that way if you want to try out this recipe and share with your friend and family. If you're Cambodian descent, you know exactly what I'm doing. If you're Thai, you probably have the concept also, because we have a lot of similarity in our cooking. If you American, you never experienced this type of cooking before, you want to try it out, you're welcome to. And I'm going to leave the recipe on there so that you have access to it. All right, I appreciate all your support, and I will leave you be. I might log on back here later in the evening when I want to finish my room door flowers, the Cambodian national flowers, and I want to create a whole bunch of blossom, and I'm going to do a little basket for it. Okay, and I have a purpose for that. And I'll let you know when I'm in the in the crochet mode. So I'm trying to switch off between cooking and crocheting, because that's what I was supposed to be doing. Okay, so all right, so appreciate all of you, and you have a great day.